won Super Bowl 59.
Dude, it gave me goosebumps watching it.
Rivian pulled up to the stadium with the snow tires on, the tinted windows. Many men came on, and it was just a murder.
This guy wins. Look at his record. Look at his stats. Thank God he's a Philadelphia Eagle.
You can mark this down. I think the Eagles are hosting the NFC Championship game.
I don't care how it looks at this point, as long as it's a win.
Vaughn came up with it.
Oh, Bond's an animal.
That guy's playing at an all-pro level.
I mean, you could have heard that from a mile, dude. That stadium was loud.
Lock in, Bruce. Another Speakin Birds. What is up, my Bruce? My bird Bruce. We are back. It's another Speakin Birds. It's your boy Speaks here. We're back. Sorry to the listeners for a little bit of a hiatus. The holidays I know me personally got me turned around. I was traveling a bit, doing the Christmas thing, and man, I just feel like this season's been a little weird with just the timing of the games. We had like a Black Friday game. There's, I don't know. I don't know. Got turned around, with the holidays, but again, apologies. But yeah, we're back. We're gonna finish strong. Running a solo pod today. Just wanted to touch base here. Look, the regular season is in the books. It's in the books. And we're looking forward to the playoffs. We'll get to all that in a bit. Man, I'm drinking what is this? It's like a honey chamomile tea. Let's take a little sip of this. Oh man, that's good. Oh, that's good. You got to put a little external honey in that. So I make that. I do a little honey, then I do a dash of cream. And this thing, man, this is going down a little too smooth. I should put some bourbon in this. Man, that's a 9.6 out of 10. 9.6 out of 10. Man, so yeah, I was traveling a little bit during the the New Year's, post Christmas New Year's holiday, and man, I was up north in Russian River. So I was able to stop at Russian River Brewing. If you know them, they're kind of like one of the pillars in the brewery scene as far as their beers. If you don't know them, I would say their most famous beer is probably Pliny the Elder, which in more recent years has become, a little more accessible, easy to grab, at least in California and even in Philly. I think they distribute to Philly. I know you can get them at Monk's Cafe. We mentioned Monk's Cafe on here in the past. So yeah, cross that one off the list. And I got it. So there's two locations. There's the original one, and then there's the one that we stopped at, which is kind of like a Trogs vibe. If you know Trogs, it's not as, Trogs is like decked out with hops, beers, and that's, it's the vibe. It's not like that. It was more of, I would say it was like the Treehouse in Cape Cod. It's not personality-less, but it's not, how am I trying to phrase this? It's like, I don't want to say corporate. Oh yeah, I guess corporate's the better word. I think it's more for larger parties, gatherings, but so I still would consider that crossed off the list. Had some brews there. Oh man, their food. They had some. I think we had a side of fries with the Pliny cheese sauce. Oh man, that was great. I love a good beer cheese sauce with some craft beer. When breweries do that, ooh, that knocks it out of the park. And then, what else? A couple cheeseburger sliders, and again, I think they used that sauce, and then a barbecue slider. Man, their food was out of this world. Breweries, they do this, with the food. They always have these, I know at Trogs at some points have, bone marrow, and you go into a place like this where you just want to grab a beer and a bite. But I respect a brewery that has really good food, because they're going to charge you good food prices. And if it's not good, then you feel like you got ripped off. But if it is good, then you feel like you come out on top a bit. But overall, it was sweet. They had some good merch. Yeah, it was good to cross Russian River off the list. Um, went to another brewery up in that area. I forget what it was called. Right on the river, though. Man, it was pretty beautiful. It's a pretty beautiful area. So if you ever have a chance, check out Russian River, the brewery and the place. I couldn't recommend it enough. Man, this tea is so good. All right, guys, let's get down to brass tacks here. And did we give it a rating? Man, we Russian River. I would say it was a good spot. I'm gonna go though. Like again, we didn't get to go to the original sort of brew pub location, so that kind of. I mean, I think that would have been the optimal experience, but I would still say I'm gonna go like 8.6, 8.6 out of 10. Um, it was pretty sweet. All right, let's get down to this. Eagles in the final week of the season fall to the Washington Commanders by the score of 24-17. Now, a lot has been made of the personnel that was deployed in this game. So Sirianni decides to rest most of his starters. Devontae Smith gets to go in there to get his 1,000-yard mark. He hits it fairly early. They go to him, right off the bat. He gets it, and he's out for the game. Understood. Shout out Devontae Smith for reaching that mark. I believe him and AJ Brown are for the last 3 years, they're the only Eagles, a tandem, a wide receiver tandem to hit the 1,000-yard mark, and that's for the past 3 years. So shout out to them. But other than that, on the offensive side, it was pretty much reserves. And there's been a lot made of it. And I think if the fellas were here, I think on the chat I might have gave off the vibe that I didn't want to rest them. And maybe that's true. I don't know. I think with the number 2 seed on the table and what the situation was for those who might not know, the Bears played the Lions. The Bears were currently the number 2 seed going in to Sunday. If they lose against the Lions and we would have won against Washington, we would have been the number 2 seed. Now, what that means is that if we advance in the wild card round, and the wild card as a 3 seed, which was locked in, we were guaranteed that wild card game at home. We're hosting the wild card round. Now, the 2 seed, if we advance past the wild card, would have guaranteed us a divisional home game, which I don't know. I mean, to me, that is so important. I mean, we've seen it. We saw it in 17. We saw it in 22. We saw it in, last year where we got some breaks to go our way, and the path went through the link. I think for a place with the fan base that we have and the link, and it's outside, and we're this gritty team. I don't think you can put a price on it. I think it's priceless. I think it is priceless to get that 2 seed. Now, obviously, hindsight is 2020, and we didn't know if the Bears were going to lose. They end up losing. We get some help, and we don't take care of business on our end. So we're the 3 seed. And look, it's not lost on me. I mean, you look at the 49ers. They lost 2 linebackers, playing in the final week, and Brock Purdy has a stinger. So it's not lost on me that you trot the team out there and that you risk potential injury. I mean, look, I get it. And I'm not even disagreeing with Sirianni's decision to do that. I think what stings the most is that you couldn't beat a 39-year-old Josh Johnson. I mean, you're letting him run all over you. He won 1 game in 17 years. And you can't get it done. Look, how much praise has everyone given Tanner McKee? I don't think he looked, as sharp as he should have been. So, it's disappointing that you can't beat this depleted Commanders team. I mean, look, they're injured too. A lot of their guys are backups. And you couldn't take care of business. I don't know. I mean, that to me is the most disappointing part. And I know Sirianni is catching. I don't. You know what? I don't think he's catching a lot of slack. I mean, you could look at the Reddit and Twitter, and maybe he is, but I think a lot of talking heads aren't really pushing back. I think it's all the same opinion, which is that you would hope McKee and company could have gotten it done. Because I do think that 2 seed is critical. And not only that, you get the lesser of the opponents. So the Bears are going to face the Green Bay Packers, and they're injured. They're without Micah Parsons. I think their wide receiver corpse is depleted. So I mean, you almost want to face them, but look, the Niners are injured. They're banged up as well. They're going to be flying across country, going into the link. I don't think people talk about worst case scenarios and all of that. I don't think we're hitting I don't think it's worst case scenario where we are. We're the 3 seed. We get at least one home game. You advance. Maybe you go to Chicago. Which shout out Rube. I think this was a Rube stat. I think the Soldier Field is the only place we've won 3 road playoff games. So I mean, look, I don't think anyone's scared of any team in the NFC. I mean, it's been so inconsistent, up and down. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think it is what it is. At the end of the day, you just have to win 4 games till you hold the trophy. So I mean, you just got to put your head down. Put your head down and get it done. So yeah, that's kind of the story of what's going on with with the starters and the 2 seed. And did I want it? Yeah, sure. And it hurts when you see like it was in reach. If it was out of reach, or it didn't come down to you taking care of business, that's a different thing. But I mean, you got the help. And I wonder, like, I don't think it's lost on like Lori or Roseman how important that is, or Sirianni. I don't think it's lost on anyone. Um, I mean, look, Lori would love to host a playoff game. You kidding me? All the revenue that he would get from that. But I mean, they value, getting that week of rest, which you can't really fault them for. I mean, if they go out and they're rested and they're a complete team, and the offensive line maybe with the extra week of rest gets it together and starts playing better, then it's a good move. But if you go on the road and and another thing too, did the offense really earn the rest? I mean, they haven't figured it out all year. I mean, maybe you need that extra game to like feel good about it going in. But we'll see. Even the Bills game, um, the second half they don't do anything. So I mean, we're still playing 30 minutes of football pretty much on these games, and I mean, you can't really do that in the playoffs, but maybe with our defense you can. All right. So yeah, that's it. That's all I'll say on the matter for now. Um, Man, let's see here. Tanner McKee, 21 for 40, 241 yards, 1 touchdown. Man, 1 costly interception. I would say Tanner McKee stock down. Stock down after that. I mean, he came out sharp, but again, he had Devontae Smith out there. He hits him for a couple big gains. And then it's pretty much just stalling out. Stalled out. There was a couple head scratcher decisions. What one where he could have scrambled for the first down easily. He doesn't. The next play he tries to squeeze it in for the interception. Or was that the interception? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. But yeah, just a head scratcher. Final play of the game, he kind of just heaves it out of bounds. So yeah, I don't know. I think, but I do think Tanner McKee, if you put him in with ones, and you really let him, you put him around talent, I think it's going to be a little different. But it'll be interesting to see how they handle McKee. I think he'll be a free agent, not this year, next year, next offseason. So you got to look at it. Do you want to get something for him? You don't really want to let a guy like this walk, unless you think, I don't know. Yeah, you really don't want to let him walk for nothing. So, do you trade him away, get a draft pick, try to draft another backup? We'll see. We'll see. But I think overall, I don't know. I think before this start, people were talking about, a 2, maybe getting a 2 second round pick for him. I don't think they get that anymore. I mean, maybe if he comes out and lights it up, I mean, you might even get a team that wants to trade a one for him if they like him that much. Um, and maybe that's a little crazy, but I don't know. We'll see. I think overall stock down for Tanner McKee. You really wish he would have went out there and won that game. Um, but it didn't happen. We'll stick on the offense here. Tank Bigsby, man, 16 carries, 75 yards, one touchdown. His long was 13 yards. He's averaging 4.7 yards a carry. You talk about the head scratching stuff. He was running so relentlessly. I mean, he's a good running back. He's running relentless. He picked up that block and just kind of picks the lineman up and holds him out of McKee's reach. I mean, look, you want a guy like that on the field, and in the last 17 minutes, he doesn't get a carry. It just makes no sense. I don't get it. It's this offensive coaching regime is just it's bizarre. I mean, was he hurt? Then they start putting in Will Shipley. It doesn't make sense to me. They go away from things that are working. And look, these guys they're smarter than me. Maybe they see something. I have no idea, but to the naked eye, it seemed like it was working. So I don't know why you just completely take a guy out of the game when he's like, on offense, one of the very few who are giving it their all. So yeah, very bizarre. All right. Yeah, I want to see more Tank Bigsby. And I'm not saying he's gonna be splitting, the carries with Barkley, but I don't know, he's a spark kind of guy. He's gonna come in and just give you effort and be relentless. And he wants to be out there. You can tell he really wants to be out there. I don't know, when you look at these playoff games and you kind of look at, Corey Clement, who's gonna take a game over. I mean, I think he could be that guy. So I don't know. I want to see a little more of him. Um, yeah, let's see here. Wide receivers. Yeah, we got Smitty, Jahan Dotson, 3 receptions, 40 yards. He had 8 targets. Darius Cooper had himself a couple receptions. He had 3 for 33. I believe Darius Cooper was the one who got that taunting penalty, which was so costly. I mean, we could talk about the taunting penalties. It's the softest thing. I mean, look, I guess by letter of the law, the guy's on the ground, you spin the ball. I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, get up and rush to the referee to hand the ball off. You can't do a little celebration anymore. I mean, are his feelings that hurt? The defenders' feelings that hurt, and that takes you from what you could have been first down around the 5, about to punch this thing in, and now you're backed up. And then I think that's where McKee throws the interception. So, in a game that you lose by, a touchdown, those things add up. Can you really fault Cooper for that? I don't know. It's a shame because, yeah, it's a young guy who really wants to make an impact. And, you're letting some soft rule dictate and take that away. But I don't know. We'll see. I still think, again, yeah, it's the backups, but just something about the play calling and Kevin Petula, I don't feel confident about it at all. And Sirianni, of course, I mean, we don't ever feel confident about his play calling. But I don't know. We'll see. You just gotta. It's gonna be a wild playoffs. Not sure how long it'll last, but okay. The defense. So yeah, we had some starters in there. We had Nolan Smith, BG. I think BG had 22 snaps. So yeah, man, good on him. Jordan Davis was in there a little bit. Ojimo. We got to see a little Ty Robinson. Ty Robinson he got beat a little bit. He got beat up a little bit. We'll have to go back and watch the tape on that. Uche, he had a pretty good game. Let's see. Saw Campbell in there. Jeremiah Trotter, man. Shout out Trot Jr. Let's see, man. Total tackles. He had 12 total tackles, 5 solo, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 QB hits. Man, he was around there. Goal line. He makes his stuff. He does the axe celebration, making his dad proud. Making his dad proud. That was pretty sweet to see. So yeah, I mean, we saw some people in there, some starters, and I would say probably the biggest story out of the defense is our DBs playing absolutely atrocious. Yeah, shout out to Jacorian Bennett, Keely Ringo, just awful, just two awful football players. I mean, God forbid somebody goes down. Like they can't play in the playoffs. Putting them out there would just be throwing. Jacorian Bennett, the Commanders just figure out they can toss the ball down there and get a DPI anytime. So, I mean, yeah, you can't put them on the field. And in the offseason, we're gonna have to clear out that depth and rebuild. It's so crazy. I mean, we had that draft where we really loaded up. We had Eli Ricks. Not that he could have been out there, but you let a guy like Josh Jobe go. He's arguably he's on one of the arguably best defenses in Seattle right now, and he's contributing. So, I mean, yeah, it's just crazy. We're gonna have to really gut that depth at DB and redo that. And shame for Keely Ringo. I mean, this guy was slated. This guy was slated to be the starter opposite Mitchell. So he just hasn't lived up to anything. I mean, he's a great special teams player. He's a great gunner, but I mean, can you keep him on the team for just special teams? I mean, you would really hope that he can play the position, and he just can't. Yeah, really awful. He was bad. He had the one rep where Josh Johnson's rolling out. Keely Ringo's probably, and who says he makes the tackle? He could have whiffed on it, or Josh Johnson could have scored. But Ringo just kind of turns his back and runs towards the end zone. I guess he thought he blew a coverage and saw Josh Johnson um, pump fake and thought maybe he was just going to throw it. Which later on social media, Keely Ringo, he's kind of joking about it. He posts, I love you too, guys, with like a winky face or something. And then, I saw him commenting, hey, he was going to throw it over my head anyway, but I know what you guys are talking. It's like, I don't want that. You got beat. You made a bad play. All right. So yeah, those two basically gave the game away. And yeah, I don't know. You let 39-year-old Josh Johnson get his second win of his 17-year career on you. I mean, that's not good. Can't feel good. You lose to what were they, 4-12, Washington Commanders team. Yeah. So that's, I mean, that's pretty much what we saw. Calcaterra got hip drop tackled. He went out with injury. Hopefully he's all right. Let's see. Injury front. Brett Toth had a concussion, so he might be out. He might be out for the playoff game, the wild card round. Yeah, we'll see. Jake Elliott didn't miss a field goal. I guess that's a positive. Britton Covey, a couple receptions. Yeah, we'll see. There's some positives for sure. And again, I don't want to be too down considering these were mostly backups on offense. And we're not going to see Ringo. I mean, hopefully, knock on wood, we're not going to see Ringo or Jacorian Bennett. My God, hopefully never in the playoffs, and hopefully never on the field again. Well, Ringo will be on there in special teams, but hopefully we never have to see them line up at cornerback ever again for the Philadelphia Eagles. It'd be too soon. It'd be too soon. All right. So we're facing the 49ers in the wild card rounds. And man, they're a team that's banged up. And I truly don't think, man, they're not looking forward to coming to Philly. I'll tell you that much. They're gonna have to fly across country, and And yeah, it's hostile. They don't. I don't know. I think they always wanted a rivalry with us after 22, after the 22 season. I think we're gonna. I think the fans are definitely gonna give them like gonna. They're definitely gonna hear from the fans, the 49ers fans that travel here. But I don't know. I think they have it in their head that it's bigger than it is. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping we really lay it to them. Let's see. Let's go behind enemy lines for a minute here. Let's see what they're saying. See what they're saying on the old forums. Have a sip of tea. Yeah, so let's see. Bethune is out for the rest of the season. I know they had an ankle injury with one linebacker, and let's see. Yeah, they're saying playing with house money, which is true. Like the 49ers, their defense was so injured at the beginning of the year. Everyone kind of counted them out. Then here you go on Sunday. They're playing for the number one seed. Um, Ricky Pearsall re-aggravated his PCL injury. Man, so Eric Hendricks steps into the starting linebacker role. Yeah, it'll be a great game. I'm looking forward to it. And I believe, let's see. So let's take a look at this bracket quick. We have the like we said, we have the Green Bay Packers against the Bears. We're facing the 49ers, and then you have the LA Rams facing Carolina. So let's say the Rams beat Carolina, and let's say Green Bay beats or no, I'm sorry. Let's say the Bears beat Green Bay. So then we head to Chicago. Or no, we would host the Rams, I believe. That's how it looks. Oh no, what am I talking about? Okay, hold on. Sorry, I was looking at something. Okay, so if the Bears beat Green Bay and LA beats Carolina, we would go to Chicago. Yeah, that's right. Jeez, what was I thinking? Okay. So yeah, and look, I don't think anyone's worried about going to Chicago. It's just you want that home game. All right, here's a little tidbit. Alan Eck from Williamsport, PA will be the head ref for the wild card match. The Niners have gone 3-6 in games he has officiated, while the Eagles have gone 8-1, including the 2023 NFC Championship win over San Francisco. Let's see what they got to say about that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're not really overly confident. Oh, yeah, a lot of just injuries. And yeah, I don't know. It'll be a fun game. But yeah, we'll catch up. We'll try to catch up before that game. Obviously, we'll do a pregame pod. Hopefully we get the fellas back on, and we can get a full crew in here. Otherwise, I'll be on and catching up on the news of the week, heading into the big wild card matchup against the San Francisco 40 Winers. And and it'll be cool. We'll do a post game pod. So yeah, we're here. We're chilling. We're back, and I'm excited. I'm excited. We'll talk menu. What should I make? What should I make for the game? Maybe some wings. Maybe some wings. Oh, I was actually in 49ers country. I was in San Francisco actually, and around there. Had a mission burrito. I forget the place that I went to. Man, that burrito was pretty good. That was a pretty good burrito. Ooh, man, I'm having dreams of it. But I mean, look, the 49ers, I don't mind San Francisco too much, but that's neither here nor there. They're the enemy this week, and we will have them. Until next time, guys, let's get out of here. Go Birds.